nearly a week later, we are reuniting with Wuklamat and the crew, and we need to get back on the road. So there's still a pursuit to get Wook to be Dawn Servant, but it's been made all the harder because of Bakul Jah Jah being a Bakul Jerk. So let's go ahead and speak with Wuklamat to take on the level 93 main story quest entitled History's Keepers. Wuklamat has her sights set on the Yokhui village. The road beckons, friends. Let us be on our way to the Yokhui and... Oops, sorry about that. Then it's back to where through the path through the mountains begins. You remember, the spot where you were tricked into walking off of Wakesa? She's a reminder of that. Aaronville is... Yeah, just going to rub it in my face in it like that, eh? Yeah, so condescending. I wonder if he's raising my hackers on purpose though. You know, trying to keep my anger directed at him instead of myself. Either way, we can't be standing around here all day. We have a lot of lost time to make up for. Indeed we do. So we better get back to it. So am I just warping back to Earthenshire now? Pretty much, yeah. Alright, let's go. Would have liked the very least you guys to be able to see the intro to the next location without an ad shoving itself in. Well, thank you very much, Ready Rock. Wish we still had what you gave us. But unfortunately, the fair game situation is not working in our favor. Yeah, Aaronville already knows how to rub it in, doesn't he? Yeah, so if I didn't know any better, I would almost swear he doesn't want Wuklamat to win. Wook? I couldn't leave without letting Red Rock know what happened, so I stopped in Earthenshire to say a few words before moving on. And now Aaronville is nowhere to be seen? Couldn't he wait a few more moments? So much for giving him the benefit of the doubt. Come on, let's catch up. I want to give that smug cleaner a piece of my mind. I'm sure you do. I worried Wuklamat would agonize over the loss of a keystone, but it seems I had nothing to be concerned about. Onwards and upwards then. Yeah, you don't have nothing to worry about yet, but of course, we have to get ourselves into a situation where we can get the keystones back. But for now, let's return to a place we've already been. Because yeah, we've already done our Redux of Kosama Uka. It's now time to Redux in Urkopacha. No cutscene this time, we just show up. Alright, Aaronville. As I'm sure you've noticed, the air goes thin at this elevation. Take it slow until your body adjusts. Deep breaths, drink plenty of water. A few more steps and we'll be in Wallar's Echo. Very well then, let's go. Something I would like to do, and this is something I thought that would have been fixed with the resolution, is try to make the text look larger as well, because it's just not showing up all that well on what I've been doing. And despite my attempts to upscale, that doesn't seem to be having an effect on it either. But trying to make the text boxes look bigger so that it looks like somewhat decent in the edited content would be nice. Alright, back over to Wuklamat. I think I'm getting used to the air up here. And so now that we're around in this new area. So this is the place from the Lay of Proof where Papa met with the Yokui. And this is who we're dealing with. This is the Yakui that they're talking about. And that must be them. I don't think I've actually seen one outside of a picture. So it is for most Raleigh. The giants rarely visit the lowlands. Here, in the mountain fastness, they tend to the solemn duty they pledge to undertake in the pact with the Dawn Servants. To watch over the Tura Vidral, Valigarmanda, and maintain its prison within their temple. Ah yes, Ruklamatz told us about the Tura Vidral, creatures that live for far longer than normal and awaken to strange powers. Indeed, yet even among these anomalies, Valigarmanda is unrivaled in strength. It has endured for centuries, bringing catastrophe each time it emerges from its lair. As you learned in the Lair of Ice, it was Gulur Jaja who at last managed to imprison the beast, and it has lain dormant in the temple ever since. It is said that the building still bears a gaping hole in its ceiling from when Valigarmanda was lured inside by Gulur Jaja's final ploy. As we can clearly see, I'd like to see this strongest of all Tura Vidral. I wonder what it was like to fight it. Waller's Echo was where both the Lay of Proof and the Lay of Ice took place. Does this not suggest that we'll be facing two feats this time? That's a question we can ask the Elector once we find him. Or maybe we should flush up a cool Jaja first so I can beat my keystone out of him. Yeah. Let's find that thieving cheat, or or focus on the Elector. Yeah, Wook, stay focused. I suppose we do still have 4 keystones to earn, and no matter what we do, that contest will pit us against him sooner or later. Alright, let's seek out the Elector. Then I suggest we pay a visit to Kariozar the Gracious, or so the temple is called. The Moblins told me that High Luminary Gorfalor is to be found there. If we are to ask someone for information, then he seems the wise choice. Then we've got a plan. Yeah, meanwhile I'm just staring at Erenville like, yeah, no need to be so obnoxious. Anyway. Let's find the person of interest now. And just for a comparison. Yeah, Mathia, he's 5'8", he barely comes up to this guy's belly button. Just to give you an idea of how tall these Yokui really are. Probably stack at least 2 of Mathia on top of each other, and it still won't match the height. Alright, up we go. To Wook and crew. At the temple guard as well. Let's see if I can convince the guards to let us through. I am Wuklamat, 3rd Promise of Tuliolal, and I seek your Elector for the right of succession. May I speak with Gorfala? The High Luminary has granted admittance to the claimants. You may enter. That was easier than expected. In we go then. In we go, indeed. So upon entering, Gods, is that? What do you see? Aye, Valigarmanda. Yeah, just take a moment to take that all in and see how impressive this thing looks. So yeah, they call them Troll Vidral. Does it qualify as a primal around here? Yeah, look at this thing. Yeah, we're even getting a close-up. Welcome. High Luminary Gurfala? Nope. He is not here at present. I am Luminary Zermower. This is the Skyrim Valley Garmanda? It is. The Troll Vidrol whose name has evoked terror since time immemorial. Even my people, once conquerors of all beneath the sun, were as brittle leaves before Valley Garmanda's tempestuous power. When the Sky Ruin descended upon Urkopacha 8 decades ago, the casualties were staggering. Had Gulul Jar Jar and his companions not intervened, we would have been slaughtered to the last. Flashback. Their titanic battle with Valley Garmanda raged for 10 days and 10 nights. Without any sleep? As the foe fought on, tireless and relentless, our heroes were pushed beyond the limits of their endurance. Thus did the Head of Reason concoct a desperate plan. Gulul Jar Jar tricked the Sky Ruin into losing control of its own ice magics, causing the unwitting Troll Vidrol to encase itself in frozen ether. And it's been like this ever since. Nice work, Papa. But what happens if the ice level melts? Do we really want that answer? That same question looms large in our minds, for the magics sustaining this prison grow weaker with each passing year. Valley Garmanda commands powers of fire and lightning and ice. Some believe that the violence of the recent storm was the result of those energies slipping free. Is that so? Yeah, God forbid. That raging tempest from Valley Garmanda? He must have known we were coming. Setting future worries aside, you all come to attempt the feat of proof, yes? The High Luminary, chosen elector of the Dawn Servant, has left me with instructions for all aspiring claimants. And that is, you are to scour our forbidding mountains. Don't you mean foreboding? And find the waiting Gurfala. That is to be your challenge. Ah, so the search itself is the feat. You've already spoken with my brothers, I take it? I have. Their expeditions are underway. Guess we know what we gotta do. Then we better pick up the base. Indeed. Aye, but we need a direction to search in first. Let's see what hints we can gather from the villagers. Alright. So, let's go. And thank you very much, and hopefully this guy's not going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah, that's quite an imposing monster. Alright, Wook. God's Valley Garmanda is enormous. I know Papa had friends with him, but it's incredible he could hold his own against that thing. Should its prison ever fail though, we can't expect the old god to come running. It's be up to us to save the day. Well, you better hope it never comes to that, so we'll take our nearly 1 million plus experience points, 1,239 gil, plus options of grilled Urko Trout, which is for magical DPS, We have Royal Toast, which is for people like myself, for melee DPS. We have Banana Pons Cake for tanks. And we have Maple Teriyaki for ranged DPS. Or we can just sell out and take the silver piece, but nope, we're taking some Royal Toasts, aka French toasts. So now, let's go ahead and speak with Alpha Node to take on our next level 93 main story quest entitled The Feat of Proof. Alpha Node would share his strategy for information gathering. As you've just been informed, the Feat of Proof requires us to seek the High Luminary Gofala somewhere upon these mountains. However, if earlier feats are any indication, we must assume the challenge precludes the Yokui from answering our questions in a straightforward manner. Thus, I would ask that you pay close attention while attempting to divine Gofala's whereabouts. Though the giants may not give us a precise location, there may be clues hidden within their words. Such is my theory anyway. Let us see what we can discover. So, let's go. In fact, the first person I can ask is right behind me. Likely in this house, although finding a way in may not be so easy. Well, let's see what we can do. Huh, turns out you're over here, there, Yogur War. The High Luminary? No, I have not seen him today. Now let me ask you a question. That Zabral who came out of the temple earlier, was that really the third promise? Yes, it was. She seems rather unimposing. How is she meant to succeed the mighty Galu Jar Jar? Well, yeah, you could say that about everyone except for Bakul Jar Jar there, sir. So now let's head on over this way at some point. And once we find someone, so Alpha Node speaking with that Yokui. Second one trying to find him. Hiding behind a pillar? Yes. In fact, chiseling at it here is Zerferlar. Asking after the High Luminary as well, are you? I know not where to find him, but I do hope you have the opportunity to speak together. He is a great man with a deep reverence to our traditions. These glyphs we carve, for one, he affords them as much value as any treasure we possess. They are records of lives lived. Your arrival too, I will etch into the stone. That of the story of our meeting may endure for untold turnings of the sun. If you are curious about our ways, then I bid you visit Proof to the northwest of here. It is one of our grave sites. Very well. Yeah, if graves are involved, then we should be ready for maybe ghosts being present. So finally, coming over this direction. Yeah, there's our third person of interest. Zerbolor. If nothing else, I like the continuity in the Yokui names, that they all have 3-syllable, 9-letter names, and each syllable ends with an R. Atuliolan? No, you are farther away than that, I think. As for the High Luminary, I can only guess what he might be. He is the warder of the Sky Ruin, but also keeper of the sepulchres, and his duties often take him outside the village. Now that we've learned all of that, let's go and reunite with the crew. It looks like we'll be reuniting outside the front door. So once we get up here, now we just wait for everyone to show up. And so sometime later, after we've all reunited, first things first, was anyone able to coax forth a definite location for the High Luminary? Yeah, we're all looking at me. Hoping that I got it. As expected. What then of clues are the hints that might point us in the right direction? I heard that in addition to his usual duties, Gerfaller is also charged with keeping the graves. As did I. The Yokui sepulchres appear to hold a special significance in their culture. But would it be appropriate for us outsiders to enter into their burial grounds? Yeah. Unless we don't have a choice. Proof, you say? And he encouraged you to visit this place yourself? Then let's go and take a look. Even if we don't find Gerfaller there, it will give us the chance to learn more about the Yokui. I agree. The grave site is somewhere northwest of here. Well, we can leave that from that side of the village for a start. Shall we? Alright, let's go then. Alright, let's go. So, once outside the village, we'll speak with Kryl. The others have gone ahead to proof following the trail west. There are sharp drops everywhere, so we're all moving at our own pace. Some of us are not built for craggy terrain. I thought to get my banks from up here first so I don't stumble off a cliff. Why don't you try catching up to Anvil? He should be able to point you in the right direction. Let's hope you're right. Yeah, it's a shame that the Yokui don't have any alpacas around, but then again, I can assure you that if they were using alpacas, they would get crushed. And then animal abuse would be declared. Yeah, no real surprise they should probably be dressing in armor in case we need to take up some action. Yeah, we're catching up with someone who's wandering around. Yeah, we're running past Alice, who's just chilling out in the middle of the road. At least she's not doing the Black Knight thing from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And thus, I don't need to chop her limbs off. Yeah. All the way out here is where we'll find Aaronville. And Alphino is in the middle of the crossroads, so Aaronville? Take a look at this crater. There is no wood, no trees, and not even dried grass, and yet the ground still burns. This must be one of the scars left by Valigamonda's rampage as told by the saga. Yeah, let's pan around and have a look. Yeah, all this time, and this thing is still got cinders. It's a shame that there's no rain that falls around here, or else that could have been put out a long time ago. The Sky Ruin's fires are described as eternal, flames that can be quenched by neither storm nor time. And here I thought it a literary embellishment. Okay, so maybe they can't be put out. But now I've lost sight of Ruklamat. Proof is northwest along the main road, so hopefully she's still heading the right way. Alright. So as we continue northwest along this path, yeah, it's just a nice, peaceful trek for now. Of course, things will change. And I do see some buildings through the fog. Yeah, we are at altitude, so fog is more likely. Yeah, we got some pillars over here. There's what looks like a house or something as we're coming around the corner. So yeah, it's another entire settlement. Plus, I also see another Aether Current. Let's go ahead and pick this up. Alright, that's obtained. Let's head on back. And as you can see, it's a pretty steep drop down. Of course, that's Palo Palo territory beneath us. So anyway, now that we're reunited with Wook, Wook wins again. How so? As in, you beat us all here, or you found the information first? Looks like everyone is here now, so... And so... Greetings, friend. Are you Gruffalo? No, I am not. The High Luminary did, however, task me with providing a lesson on sepulchres to those who came in search of him. Oh, so we were meant to find our way here after all. Are you here to tell us who is buried here? No one is buried here in the sense you mean. When a body has served its purpose, we consign it to the flames and then scatter its ashes across the peaks. So yeah, cremation. Yeah, shock, look. And I can imagine that cremation takes a very long time given how big these guys are. Moreover, we do not conceive of death as others do. For us, a person does not die when their heart ceases to beat, but only when they are no longer born in the hearts of all who know them. This is why we build our sepulchres before age or mishap claims us, that we might etch ourselves into the living chronicle for all eternity. This grave belongs to a good friend. His mortal vessel ended its journey some years ago, but he lives within me, even now. Up there stands my own sepulchre. You've already bought your own gravesite? As long as it exists, so too will I. I will endure in the hearts of those who read my grave glyphs in the same manner my friend does in mine. Has it always been thus for your people, this conception of existence and death? Does it take a lot to say? Continue along this path to the indelible passage. Behold the history upon its walls, and you may find the answers to your questions. Alright. Well, then that's what we'll do. Your traditions are fascinating and I'd love to know more. Yeah, you say as you've turned your back to the guy. I thank you for allowing me to share them, for in doing so will I remain in your hearts also. I definitely say we got some good rapport out of that. Alright. So then, let's go. Now following this path. As we can see, there is some danger to be had. There's a minotaur overlooking things, known as a walloped. So yeah, it looks like our next destination is right over here at a place called Sorrow, which almost sounds like it's something that came from Somal, all the way back in Giovannia in Heavensward territory. So as we arrive in the tunnel, let's speak with Wook again. Hello! A fellow we met at Proof suggested that we come here. Yes, the High Luminary commanded that I watch for your arrival. As the chroniclers of our people, it has ever been my family's duty to pass on the teachings of the murals from generation to generation. Murals, huh? This isn't like Emmett Selk in Katana Revel, is it? But let's have a look. These really are magnificent, and together they tell the tale of your people's history? They are the events which shaped us. I would share them with you, ere you continue on your way. Please, we would love to hear all about it. Then I will begin. Starting from left to right. This first mule depicts a time more than 1100 years ago, an age of great prosperity for the Okui. Blessed with size and strength unmatched by other peoples, our ancestors marched forth and brought much of Dawntrail under their dominion. Then, when all before them had been conquered, they turned their gaze northwards, seeking to expand their territory and power. Here we see the expedition to Dawntrail. Unable to cross the strait by ship, our forefathers set to building a bridge to the northern lands. A grand labor which consumed the greater part of a century. That long, huh? Zorgor the Boundless. We still make use of that bridge in Tuliolal for travel. I can't imagine the patience and dedication it took to complete a work of that scale. Yeah, because taking into consideration all the logistical factors as well. But I've never heard of any Yokui living in Dawntrail. What happened to the ones who went north? Look upon this next mule and behold the answer. Yeah, what did happen? The scene suggests that many giants perished all at once. What manner of enemy could have repelled their invasion? Yeah, especially one with those scary eyes. A foe, unnamed and unseen. When the expedition pushed forth into Dawntrail those 1,000 years ago, its soldiers were felled by disease. Ouch. Some terrible illness? Must have been that bad. No virulent plague or newly arisen blights. For the local Tanawanta and Shatona, it was but a mild affliction of the sort that comes with the turning of the seasons. What manifested for them as slight fevers and coughs, however, proved deadly to our people. Damn. Out of every 10 Yokui who joined that northern campaign, 9 succumbed to the infection. Those who survived continued to suffer, finding it difficult to sire offspring. I've heard of this before. Lacking an inherited resistance, visitors to distant lands can fall deathly ill to diseases a local might shrug off. These events might also have given rise to the practice of cremation rather than the burial of mortal remains. Is that why the fourth mural exists? This final mural depicts the return of our grieving brethren to Okopacha. The reason they first left, why they had fought so long and pushed so far, was to ensure peace for our homeland. This undertaking began in ancient times, when our forebears learned they shared the continent with peoples unlike to us in appearance or custom. They feared invasion was inevitable. Rather than meekly await their fates, they decided to strike the first blow. Yet as they fought on and on, the old idea of peace drifted further and further away. Sounds like someone we know. Only after the disaster in Dawntrail and their withdrawal to the mountains did they come to understand. The peace we envisioned had been ours for the taking all along. It was here, in the place which birthed us. Here, in the stones upon which we recorded our days. Here, in this tranquil life we had traded for conquest and conflicts. When you do nothing but fight, it can blind you to what's right before your eyes. And so, we return to the present. I trust you found this brief history of our people enlightening. I'm always glad to learn more about my fellow Turali, how you've lived until now and how you wish to live from now on. Then I believe you are ready to proceed. The High Luminary bids you meet him upon the summit of Warcall Zormor. I had a feeling we'd end up scaling that big old mountain. Well, it's a feat worthy of the name. Follow the trail south of here to begin your ascent. But be wary. Beyond the entryway, the mountainside is home to ferocious beasts both mundane and otherwise. We'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the warning and the lesson. Finally, we know where we're going. To the top of Warcall Zormor. Alright. Then we know what to do. So, let's forge onward. Yeah, as we can see, we're going in that direction. Yeah, we're not quite going completely through the tunnel yet. That will come in due time. Yeah, as we can see, quests are starting to pop up. Well, yeah, for this poor injured Yokui, we'll have to come back to him later. As you can see, in the night's time, the scars of Valagramanda are ever present. Yeah, I say, this thin mountain hair is going to be the death of me. Well, how long have you been standing there? I was just taking in the scenery is all. Sure you were. Come on, we don't want to fall too far behind Alphinaud and the others. Yeah, I guess now it's Alice. Now it's Wu Clamat's turn to pick you up because you're dealing with a sickness. Yeah, look at all this. Look at all these fancy flames and the bombs that are around. Gotta be wary of those freaks. Yeah, it's gonna big burst, but it's big burst in a far way away. So, let's speak with Wu Clamat to complete this quest. You remember how the chronicler was saying that the more they fought, the further away they moved from their idea of peace? It occurs to me that if Sriracha is attempting the feat of proof, then he will have heard that same lesson, and likely disregarded it. I can only hope that it's made him reconsider his own stance on educating people through war. If only. So we'll take our 103,000 experience points and 1,503 gil.